This video is made possible by the following mad lads. All their awesome gear they supply to me can be checked out in the description below. Hey guys, late to the party boy here, and welcome to Assetto Corsa Competizione for another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying out the new version of the ACC tyre model. And this is pretty exciting because new tyre models usually mean a step in the right direction in terms of simulation and in feel. There have been a couple of things that I haven't liked about previous tyre models in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and chief among that is how the cars used to react to curbs. For some reason in old versions of the ACC tyre models, the virtual marshals went round coating the curbs with glue, which essentially meant if you ran them over, one, it would slow you down, and two, it would kind of pull you off to the side of the course, which isn't really ideal in a series like a GT3 series where, well, curbs are 100% fair game. So I've done some general driving off camera to try and get a bit of a feel for what the new tyre model brings to ACC, and to try and exhibit it for you guys, I am going to be doing a 10-minute race around the Brands Hatch GP circuit because one, it's awesome, and two, there are a lot of curbs around here, so I can try and show you what's different with the curbs. And I've picked the Audi R8 to race in. The reason being is I didn't really get on with it before for whatever reason. I just didn't quite get the hang of how to drive it. And I'm wondering if the new tyre model is going to unlock something in my mind, or maybe just make it make sense a bit more. But yeah, so I think it's fair to give it a go. You might also notice that my opponent's skill is set fairly low, 89%. Usually around about 95, 96, sometimes even 100 in some circuits. But for some reason, at Brands Hatch GP, I am either incredibly slow or the AI are really fast. I'm inclined to believe it's the former, unfortunately, but that's the reason why it's down at 89%. Right, let's go test out this new tyre model. Well, here we are then, rolling start at Brands Hatch GP in the Audi R8 with the new tyre model in ACC. I'm going to turn my traction control down a little bit because 5 is a bit too high for me. Rolling start here, of course, and we can see what this new tyre model is all about. Coming over the start-finish line, got a Lexus to the left of us. Great sounding car, and a Bimmer M6 in front, and there's a green light. Lego then. So tyres and brakes are going to be a little bit cold right now, so we can't really yeet it into Paddock Hill as much as I want to. Saying that, there's a place that I yeet anywhere without meaning to. Easing the power downhill, car slow on the exit of Paddock, now coming up to Druids. Brakes, although they're cold, seem to work fairly well, and immediately you'll see that I'm staying off this inside curb because this curb, regardless of update, is pretty high and doesn't really fit the car too well. Coming now down to, I think this is Graham Hill, off the curb to the right there, up to 4th before getting back on the brakes. You can run 3rd through if you get a good exit on the power, which I kind of don't. There, a little bit of TC interference. Now coming down to Pilgrim's Drop, trying to get into the toe of the cars in front, and then coming up to Hawthorns, a corner that I really can't do very well in ACC. There you go, 4th gear through there, try and blend back on the power. Lots of understeer there, and on the curb on exit. And whilst you feel the curb with the 4C back, it doesn't seem to disrupt the car as much as it used to. It feels very much now like you're running over a curb, as opposed to being sucked into the orbit of one. Oh, there you go, a little bit cheeky there. Just dabbed the wheel onto the grass, but we're okay. You can use a lot of that inside curb there. And before, I found in ACC, curbs like that, inside curbs, you touch them, and you just have a little bit of a snap. It'll kind of snap it. It's like running almost like through a puddle. Not quite as severe as that, but you know, in real life in a car. But when it pulls the car to the left or right, it's a bit of a dampened version of that. But nowadays, in this tyre model, it doesn't quite feel the same. So that's one lap down. Again, touching the curb on the inside there, on the outside. Cradled there a little bit by the curb on the exit of Paddock Hill. But this curb on the inside, I find that if you do get onto it, the car still does kind of pull round a little bit, but there are some raised parts of that curb that would probably do that in real life as well. But seems to be a bit of an improvement. In general as well, the car feels... I've always thought ACC can be a little bit vague in some details. For example, when there is maybe issues with traction, or when you're hitting the ABS. But they're more forced feedback things. I don't feel them to be more pronounced now, but I notice them more. I know that sounds like a bit of a contradiction, but I feel that sometimes when it's an improvement to a tyre model, people tend to go a bit too far the other way. But this was like a nice subtle improvement in a lot of areas. Having to fight the car there through that right hand. They're coming up to Sheen. Probably my favourite corner on the course when you get it right, but when I get it wrong, it's definitely not, because you get grabbed by that grass on the left there and end up having to go to the gravel trap, a shame. You can really drive it into that left hand now. You can see I'm just getting the TC working a little bit on the exit. Try not to lean on the ABS too much, although they do in real life. A lot of cloud of smoke there from the Nissan in front, trying to slow down its big brickness. Got a Bontley in the rear view mirror. Oh, it's my boy Lucas in front. Lucas Ordonez in the Nissan when he was driving last year, of course. Now drives a Bentley. Curb on the outside feels pretty good there. You really get a feel that you're running over kind of a semi-serrated curb. It doesn't really damage you at all or ruin the tyre, it feels like, but you get a nice big rumble through the wheel. Still have a soft spot for that Nissan, even though it is a brick. There you go, up into 4. Can we maybe dive down here? I always forget what this corner's called. Maybe 30s or something like that? Yeah, I'm terrible. Sorry about that, guys. My corner name knowledge of a track should be better. Especially with British tracks. The Queen will come and break my kneecaps if I don't get it right. Really bad through here. I'm running the... I think it's a stable setup at the moment, just because I kind of find that I like to run a lower level of TC. And if I run a lower level of TC with the more aggressive setup, I tend to spin the car around a bit more. But this is fine for me right now, but for video purposes anyway. But everything just feels a little bit more consistent. Isn't the word, because it was consistent before, but it just feels like more as you'd expect it to feel. The thing with ACC is I feel like it's a bit of a slow burner in terms of kind of a game release. We had the very long early access where lots of things had to be addressed, things like online and how the cars are feeling, etc. And now it's almost mirroring somewhat, and this is a bit of a reach, how I guess Gran Turismo approached things, where the game when it came out wasn't really a full game. It's kind of progressed into becoming one, and this is what I feel is happening, or is meant to be happening with ACC. This update is something that is definitely needed, but I wonder why we didn't get it in the first place, you know. But it's good it's being upgraded. I'm not going to moan about that. It's always good to get a nice free upgrade to your video game.
We are at the halfway mark.
Really leaning on the TC there, sorry, on the ABS coming into the braking zone. I kind of find that you can still quite easily get the car sliding in quite a negative way. We called it a TC slide in iRacing. It's not quite the same in this. It feels like a little bit more like the car kind of gives up mid-corner and you end up having this very slow, very annoying slide that you have to kind of wait till it's done with. There I got the weight transfer all wrong into there, a bit late on the brakes, and as a result understeered. Oh, there you go. That's what I was talking about. That was the slide there. I got a bit too aggressive into there. The car said no. As a result, scary things happen. Tyres feel like they're kind of nice and warm now, but I wonder if I'm overheating them slightly if I'm sliding a bit. There you go. Now, I've purposely turned off all the tyre data on here, or that you get on the HUD, because I want to try and feel it out as opposed to having it tell me what's happening. There you go. Ooh, wow. So you see, I'm really starting to struggle a little bit now. Maybe I'm being just too aggressive going into some of the corners. Easy on the input there on the steering wheel. Thing is, this being mid-engine is pretty decent coming out of the corners. But I feel like I'm maybe abusing that too much, maybe getting on the power a bit too soon, maybe getting that the rear wheel spinning a little bit. Closing a bit through here, there you go. You can hear the tyres scrubbing, you can feel it in the wheel a little bit as well. There's very much a fine edge in ACC. You can tell when you're going over it. It's subtle, it's there. You've got to just kind of make sure you're paying attention for it. Here I feel like I just have no speed at all. Probably getting the power a bit earlier though, to be fair. So I go down the hill. Ooh. There you go, so you're really working on that TC through there. Easy over Sheen, very nice. Well, yeah, I think, yeah, in general, a decent improvement. It's not night and day, which I think a lot of people expect from this kind of thing. And whilst I don't really play ACC a lot, to be honest, I've not really got a reason to at the moment in my mind. Like, I like driving GT3 cars every now and then, but I want to race them online in a decent setting. I'm still more likely to do it in iRacing, not because I'm a massive iRacing fanboy or I dislike ACC. I just feel like the experience is a bit better. Although I must say I do enjoy driving the cars more in ACC than I do in iRacing. And this is another step kind of to reinforce that, I think. There you go, off there. AI's a bit slower through it. I love the GTR fart as it goes down there, like brrr. Turbo brick. Right, let's see if we can get a pass. Sorry, Lucas, mate. I am the superior driver, as you know. Ah, there you go. I had to really... the car did not want to go on the inside there at all. You felt straight away on the brakes, it just started pushing out. It's a bit spooky, really. Right, can we get inside the top 10? We're in 11th right now. I know you guys can't see the standings because my ugly face is covering it up. But we're in P11. Car ahead, of course, is P10, so we get by him. That's a top 10 finish for us. Yeah, you can really hit that inside curb now at Brands. I'm kind of glad I picked Brands Hatch because it's a circuit where I find myself on the curbs quite a bit. I think the weakness for me still in the ACC tyre model is still that on the extreme situations where the car has a sudden snap, like that, when I went through Sheen there, the car had a little bit of a slide, and I kind of just turned the wheel the way I thought it would save it, and it did, as opposed to the way that I was kind of being told to by the force feedback. So I feel in those situations the cars can still be a little bit spooky. There you go, getting quicker, coming up to a Bentley now. Oh, a bit too wide there. I love how that curb catches you though, and you get a big rumble on the wheel when you go over it. Second gear for here, using the power, just picking it up. Using the power a bit around there to actually turn the car. Of course, this thing steers, accelerates from the back, so it's good to, accelerates to rotate the car sometimes. Bit of understeer there down here. Again, but when you go onto the exit there, there's a big bit of astroy on the exit of that corner. It's quite forgiving now. Before I didn't really like going over there, it would slow you down. It reminded me a bit of, because there are some games that do that. I think Assetto Corsa, the original one, does that. But when you go a little bit too wide at a corner, like the surface is purposely has more friction, so it slows you down and kind of discourages corner cutting. But of course, you know, we don't need that. I think that can be enforced another way. Oh god, that's a bit quick into Sheen! I just touched the grass on the way in, and you see how on edge you are through there. Well, there goes the top 10, but we'll usually again I'd restart the race in that circumstance. But I think it's better not to. Oh, that was the last lap as well. What is it with me and bottling like rally stages or races right at the end? But like. There was no way you'd save that in real life. There's nothing that the time model could have done there to help me. That was just a mistake by me. There you go, across the line in 15th place. Should have finished 11th really, but that was the new ACC tyre model. Definitely an improvement. Definitely a step in the right direction, I think. And the great thing about this, guys, is that although this is in a public beta right now, public beta, you can try this out for yourself. So I'll flash the code on screen right now. I think I might have done it at the start of the video as well, but I'll do it again now. Enter that in Steam in the properties section, in the beta section of that. You'll find it anyway, and you'll be able to give it a go for yourselves. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, I think it's a good step forward. Curbs are definitely a lot better now, and you can actually go near them without being sucked off the course or just slowed down massively. And in general, you can be a bit more precise. I still think there is some room for improvement there, especially, as I said, in the situations at speed where the car is starting to slide about a bit. Especially when going into corners and you start getting the ABS or the TC start kicking in because you've gone in a bit too hot. There's nothing really to tell you that you've gone in too hot, aside from the fact the car doesn't really react. On my wheel anyway. Maybe that's just a force feedback thing I need to adjust, but that's my opinion on the new model. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, then make sure to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon, because that way you'll be made notified of future streams and of future videos. Big thank you, as always, to my Patreons and to my sponsors. God, getting tongue-tied there. Take care, have an awesome day. See you all next time.